Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Have You Ever Played podcast, the only podcast with subtitles permanently turned off. I am Matt, aka Matt Fondude, and I'm again with my humble host, co-host of the show.
Yes, I'm James, aka James04E.
I'm gonna give you the time to say what you need to say, James. This is
Uh,
your time.
well, I do notice that as it pertains to our topic today, the Metacritic's top Metascore games, on the side it mentions Dead Island 2 and Atomic Heart.
Oh,
I
those are
don't know
coming
what
soon.
Atomic Heart is, but Dead Island 2 scares me.
Yeah. So let's get right into the topic. Today is a Sidequest episode where we're going to be looking at Metacritic.com, and I thought it'd be fun to look at like the all-time highest-rated Metacritic games uh, by Metacritic score, and then maybe also by user score because they're all over the place. And James just pointed out that there is apparently a Dead Island 2 in production. Didn't know that. That's weird.
Yeah, it comes out on February 3rd, 2023.
On the PS4 exclusively? Question mark.
It says there's a PS4 one and a PC one.
Huh.
I assume there's an
Weird.
Xbox one. Maybe they just don't like them. You think there's a Switch version?
Oh, definitely not.
Play Dead Island 2 on Switch.
No, it would be
I
Dead
want to do that.
Island 1 like remade like with like to be like PS2 graphics, and then
Oh
it would be a
no.
cloud version of Dead Island 2 for Switch. Shoutouts to
Oh
cloud
no.
versions of games. Never had a good experience with that, to be honest.
Man.
We don't have the internet infrastructure to be playing cloud games. I like do you remember the On Live? Remember On Live before
Oh,
Stadia and all those
yeah, I
streaming
remember that
consoles?
actually. That
Yeah.
that is a throwback. I remember seeing all the ads for those or for that.
I think the Netflix for games model will work eventually. I mean, Xbox Game Pass is kind of like that. Uh,
Yeah,
Once internet speed is so good that like downloading something is trivial, I think that's kind of the world. We need to have
yeah.
that hyper speed internet so it doesn't feel like there's any delay. But anyway, let's get into the let's immediately jump into the Metacritic scores. So their number one game, according to Metacritic, the number one game of all time, regardless of year, this is of all time, is Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64.
Ooh,
What do we feel about that? How do we feel about that spicy opinion?
I've never played it, so
That is very spicy. That is a episode we should definitely do. Um, yeah, I have played that game. That game is very good. I wouldn't
Mm.
call that the best game of all time, but it is really good. Uh, do we? Are we gonna commit to reading there's like these little handy descriptions of each game. I don't know if we want to read them. It might be content because they are kind of weird. I'm
Yeah, we,
looking
we
at it.
can we can read them.
Okay. Do you want to
I
read
see
the
some
Legend
good
of
ones.
Zelda one? Since you don't know what the story is, this will enlighten you, and
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
ask
I'll
you some
I'll,
questions.
I'll introduce myself.
Hmm.
As a young boy, Link is tricked by Ganondorf, the king of the Gerudo thieves. The
Yep.
evil man uses Link to gain access to the sacred realm, where he places his tainted hands on the Triforce and transforms a beautiful Hyrulean landscape into a barren wasteland. Before I finish, if you read this to somebody over
Hmm.
the age of like 60, I think they'd actually melt.
This is way more lore than I actually gathered from playing the game. So
Link is determined to fix the problems he helped to create. So, with the help of Rauru, he travels through time, gathering the power of seven sages. I
I
mean,
mean,
Jesus Christ, dude, it's not your fault.
it's a good summary, I guess, but it like also they really went with Ganondorf, king of the Gerudo thieves, the evil human, uses Link to gain like they really had to point out his stinky hands, his stinky tainted doo doo hands, and then the fact that he was a human.
His poo poo hands.
Yeah, no, this game is really good. I of the two N64 Zelda games, I prefer Majora's Mask,
Hmm.
but Ocarina of Time it's one of those games where it was everyone's favorite game of all time, and then it became cool to hate the game, and now I
Hmm.
think it's just in a state of like, no, it's just a really good game. It doesn't have to be. It's like overrated, underrated. It's like no, it's just a good game. We don't
Yeah,
have to be crazy about it. The Metacritic score is 99. The user score is 9.1. Seems
good.
fair. Um, yeah, no, that game is great. We should probably play it on the podcast. That would be a
Yeah,
good
I'd be down
one.
to play it.
That's gonna be a multi-parter though for sure. Like that's a
Yeah.
long game. Um, the next game on this list baffles me. Uh, it is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, the second best game of all time. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I mean, I've never really played the Tony Hawk games. I don't know. Have you played a lot of the Tony Hawk games?
No, I played Skate 3, but it's
Hmm.
the only skating game I've played.
Weirdly enough, I've also played Skate 3, and I've played a little bit of some Tony Hawk games, and they are really cool, and they are
Hmm.
really important, and I think it's like a fun series. It's just weird that I never would have guessed if you asked me like what do you think people think is like the top games of all time, just Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. And now I'd like to point out Legend of Zelda is the only game on this like list that I see that has a 99 on Metacritic, and then everything else
Hmm.
below is like 98. So it's like on
Damn.
a whole nother
It's like
tier.
9 out of 10 doctors recommend it.
Yeah. I
I
will
think
I'll
what's
read the beautiful synopsis here.
oh my
As
god.
most major publishers' development efforts shift to any number of next generation platforms, Tony Hawk 2 will likely stand as one of the last truly fantastic games to be released on the PlayStation. So, is that
The
part of the
user
lore?
score.
User score
Why?
7.4.
Why is the user score 7.4?
No, 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 it's not out of 100. I think it's out of 10.
Yeah, I know, but like, there's such a big disparity.
I thought you were laughing at the fact that the summary is just like something they would
No.
print on like a. It's just like an ad statement for the game. It's just like,
Well, I mean that is funny too, but damn, these guys gave it a 7.4 out of 10, but the Metascore is 98 out of 100. What
I
went
mean,
on here?
I don't know.
Is there?
Someone at like Meta Laboratory, someone at the Metacritic HQ really likes this game, and I guess that's
Oh
kind of
my
the thing. Like,
god.
who actually comes up with the Metacritic scores?
I don't know.
And
There might be some secret payments going on here.
yeah, and well, no, I think it's just like personal opinion, like it's like subjective.
Maybe.
Uh, and also, I was gonna make this episode about. Do you know about the IGN thing? How they rated the game Imagine Babies like a 9.7 or something,
What?
or like it's like a 7.5. Imagine so. There's a game called Imagine Babies with a Z that came out on the Wii, and there's a meme that IGN gave it like a 7.5 or something like that, and
Hmm.
it was a clearly one of those reviews that was paid for, and it was like it was sketchy because like who's given Imagine Babies like a high review?
Yeah.
But the meme is there's like a Twitter account that has games that are worse than Imagine Babies objectively based on IGN's critiques, and yeah, so you'll have games like oh yeah Skyrim that's worse than Imagine Babies
Oh
according to
boy.
the ratings, or like Mario Galaxy I think is like worse than Imagine Babies for the Wii. It's just like these games. It's just insane what games are
I follow
below.
this account called Is It Worse Than Fortnite? Because IGN gave Fortnite like a 9 out of 10. So they list like these
Hmm.
great games that IGN gave lower than a 9 out of 10,
Yeah.
like
And
every day.
now I feel like Fortnite at least. I mean, you can't say that it's not like culturally significant because it's the
Yeah.
biggest thing ever, and it is honestly a pretty good game. I would say, but it also is one of those games that has infinity money put into
Yeah.
it, so like it has to be at least like decent.
It's
I
like
don't
that.
like playing
It's
it
like
at
that
all.
in like anything made by Riot. It's like you cannot compare the game that you play and like the devs to anything in Fortnite or anything made by Riot because they actually have unicorn blood in their basement. There's the things they do with their games are not real.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, what looking at these negative user scores, could you imagine the amount of people that played this game and thought all these skating tricks were super easy and then just went out and hurt themselves?
Oh, we should read some negative reviews of games too.
Oh
Uh,
boy.
let me
Oh my god.
let me
Murder.
read this. Let me read this beautiful. I'm not gonna read who posted it. I'm gonna read this beautiful 2-star review for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Whether it's ollieing over the homeless, murder victims, or riding through literal animal excrement, this game fails to pass itself off For little more than digitized urine. Actually, I should probably read it in the voice they wrote. No matter how good you claim to be at video games, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 will cut you down to size. You'll spend the majority of your gameplay hours either pressed up against a wall, unable to ride, or bailing to death because you collided with an invisible polygon. If roaming around a sandbox with a list full of chores is what you're into, then you'll love this. But don't pretend that any available geometry is skate-worthy at all. Thank you. That was a pretty good review.
That actually sounds like a skill issue.
Yeah, it's just like, why does this game like make me run into a wall all the time? I can't do anything. Yeah, that is a definition of a skill issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one other negative review was like, why is this game the number 2 top rated game of all time? That's pretty fair. That's a fair
Honestly, I
criticism.
wouldn't be surprised if it got like review bombed because they saw the Metascore was so high or something.
A lot of those reviews it looked like were that.
Yeah.
Do you wanna check out the third game on the list?
Sure.
Peep
We got
that.
Grand Theft Auto 4. I actually played this one.
I
Um,
have too. I've not beaten it, but I played it.
Metacritic's 2008 PS3 Game of the Year, also known as GTA IV. What does the American dream mean today? For Nico Bellic, fresh off the boat from Europe, it's hope he can escape his past. For his cousin Roman, it is the vision that together they can find fortune in Liberty City, get a gateway to the land of opportunity. Okay. As they slip into debt and are dragged into a criminal underworld by a series of shysters,
Shysters. Yeah.
thieves, and sociopaths, they discover the reality is very different from the dream in a city that worships money and status, and is heaven for those who have them, and a living nightmare for those who don't. What? That's okay. That's
They
definitely
really know how
offensive.
to suck the fun out of a game with these summaries.
My God.
It's just like, I mean, they're technically true, but it just feels like so
Oh
like
my God. Yeah. Like
devoid of joy.
they make the game sound so like edgy. Like, bro, I drive
Uh,
around and I run random people over, and then I shoot
and then
at
I go
NPCs all
bowling.
day. Like, then I go home and sleep.
What do you think about this being the number 3 game? I mean, I think it deserves a spot in somewhere in the top 100 of games because it's important.
Hmm.
But I don't think it's the number 3 game. I think that's going to be a lot of these
Yeah.
games on the list, and it's like what actually would be the number 3 game? Like I
Hmm.
would say, I'm sure Skyrim's up here. I would probably say Skyrim, even though it's a buggy, glitchy, garbage game, kind of in a way. It's so influential and just like a game that everyone has played a million times. I think it
Yeah.
deserves that. Like, if I'm going for top 100, I'm going for impact. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A
Definitely.
Mario
I
64.
think
Should
you have to go off of impact because like everything else would be kind of subjective and also like dependent on when it was released because obviously like games that are more recent would look better, stuff like that, or like be technically better in lots of departments, or like even be more creative in some ways.
Yeah, it is a tough thing. Like I think it's gonna be just nice to go through this list. I feel like there's no, and actually, if you think about it, it might just be alphabetized because, or I don't know how they're ordering it because these all have the same. Besides Legend of Zelda, which has a 99, all these games so far have had a 98, and
Wait,
then
why
we'll
is
get to
Grand
like
Theft Auto
97.
4 on there twice?
That's the Xbox version. So the Xbox version is separately also really good compared to the PS3 version. They're both separately like the best games of all
Why
time.
are they separate like
Don't worry about it.
that?
Um,
Yeah, I mean, as far as the placement, I played GTA 4. I think it was really good. I'm not like a huge GTA guy. Like I've only played 4 and 5, and I played Red Dead Redemption. But I think out of those 3 games, I think it was I don't want to say least enjoyable. Like I think it had a really good story, and it was like very very like well rooted. But I also think GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption is just obviously more you can do, and I think like GTA 5 with having 3 characters and stuff like that, it just felt like a more full game.
you see, what's funny is with these open world games and Rockstar games, it's like I watched YouTube videos of people running around like using cheats, like spawning in helicopters and blowing stuff up and like exploring the open world. And when I play these games, I like never find that to be fun.
Yeah,
And I like the story. Like the most fun I have in these Rockstar games is just playing the side quests and like the main story stuff. The
yeah,
open world shenanigans never appeals to me like ever. And maybe it's like a in GTA. I never really got into GTA Online either. Um, and I think GTA the reward system for those games is like you get a shiny cool car, and I don't really care about that. Do you know what I mean? Like some people will play the game and they'll grind out, especially with online. They'll
yeah.
grind it out and it's like, "Oh cool, I got like a Lambo, dude. Like that's so sick." And it's like I don't really care about the rewards. And also it feels like in GTA 5 specifically, a lot of the open world is like you can't enter buildings. I know 4 you
Hmm.
can actually do a lot more in the open world. There's like a lot more details in 4 weirdly enough compared to 5. I've seen a lot
Yeah.
of comparison videos online. But yeah, it never. I don't know. It's a game I want to revisit is GTA 4. I think it didn't run very well on my computer when I originally got it.
Hmm.
Uh, I think that has been remedied now, so that might be worth revisiting.
Yeah, I wow, I just completely lost my train of thought. I had something to say. There was definitely something to say in my brain. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm like between you and people that really enjoy open world games a little bit, where I'll enjoy getting the cool car if it's the best car in the game. Like I'll look up like what's the fastest car, or what has
Hmm.
the best handling, or something like that, and I'll do the quest to get it. But I think when the game gets to the point where I'm just kind of pissing off the police to get 5 stars or whatever, and then just fighting them, I just get bored. Like I do it once, and then I realize, oh wow, they're really just big stat checks that are meant to make me not do crime. Okay, that's just kind of it.
I'm just like parsing the reviews right now.
Hmm.
Just like this game is a piece of trash. Rockstar paid off the reviewers. My favorite game is GTA. There is so a lot of these reviews are from 2008 and 2009, and there a lot
Hmm.
of the reviews are saying like, "Man, this game sucks." GTA 4, like they used to make good games like GTA 3 and San Andreas and Vice City, and now like the new direction is bad. And it's really weird. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah,
crazy looking at these reviews from when it came out because I guess GTA 4 from like GTA. I mean, GTA 3 to 4 is like insane, but you're really gonna be comparing GTA like San Andreas and Vice City to 4, and like there's such a leap, like because those other games are a lot more arcadey in a way,
yeah,
and like this game really was kind of like a very big generation jump, and
yeah,
it looks like a
definitely.
lot of people were upset about changes.
Oh my god, yeah, yeah. You don't. I don't think you even see like generation jumps that big anymore. Like period, because lots of things about games have been sort of standardized almost. So I do understand why there would be so many like bad reviews for this.
I think we'll see. I think we'll see like I think Half Life Alex was kind of a big generation jump for VR.
Yeah,
I think graphically we're kind of at a point where it's not going to be that much better. I think it's more about how we're going to be handling things like VR and interacting with the games. I think that'll be
yeah.
more
It's the
important.
technology.
Yeah, like I think having some crazy super immersive VR that looks and feels like pretty much I think that'll be the next big huge leap of like, whoa, it really feels like I'm in that space or something like that. Or like haptics and like actual feedback on I think maybe stuff like that where like you feel like you're in the game, that's gonna be more like that's gonna be more relevant in terms of graphical fidelity because
Hmm.
I think we've kind of hit a point where you can't really make it look that much better. But people said that about the N64. They're like, "Oh my god, GoldenEye. It looks like James Bond. We're never going to get better than this." So,
Hmm.
all right, the next game on the list is Soul Calibur for the Dreamcast specifically. So this
Oh
is I guess
boy,
the first Soul Calibur.
I never played this. I did play
I
Soul Calibur
also
4
yeah, I think
a
I've
little.
also played a little bit of 4. I played some of 5, I think,
Yeah, I
weirdly
remember Soul
enough.
Calibur 4 was cool because the Xbox version had Yoda and the PS3 version had Darth Vader. And I remember I created like my own character. I'm like, this dude's so cool. He did all these awesome things, and I was like beating the shit out of all like the base cast. And like, yeah, this character is awesome. Then I just got decimated by Yoda.
And then I think Link was in the GameCube version.
Oh my god.
Version specific characters like that was cool back in the day, but like if you were playing a fighting game, that would be so annoying now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never really was a Soul Calibur guy,
Hmm.
so I guess you go to just read the lore and then we'll just move on. I guess because like Soul Calibur,
Yeah, there's not really much to comment on.
yeah, neither of us have really played it that much.
All right. This is the tale of souls and swords,
I like it.
transcending the world and all its history, told for all eternity. Dot dot dot. The greatest weapons-based fighter returns. Return.
But isn't it Soul
Returns.
Calibur one though? How do they
Returns.
return?
This time on Sega Dreamcast. Soul Calibur unleashes incredible graphics, fantastic fighters, and combos so amazing they'll make your head spin.
I know nothing about this game from that description. I think it's more like a review tagline. It's not really a summary. Like some of
Oh
these
man.
people are using them to put a summary, and some people are putting like tags from the review. I think some poor intern or like some AI had to scrape for like text to put into this
Yeah, I need
underneath
to I
these
need to look at the
games.
Soul Calibur series. 'Cause what? Wait, how is this not the first one? Oh,
Well,
the
no.
first one was Soul Edge.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, that's how little I know. And also, I think this is the Dreamcast port or version of it. Maybe that's why they're saying it's now available on the Dreamcast.
I guess that is support. I don't know.
Soul
It's weird.
Edge, is that really the first game?
Yeah, Soul Edge. It was
Wow.
what?
What was that on?
It was an
Arcade
arcade.
and
Yeah, it was an arcade
yeah.
game. What?
Yeah, I could mess
It
with
got it got
Soul
ported to
Calibur.
to PlayStation, and it got called Soul Blade outside of Japan. Dude,
So you got Soul Edge, Soul Blade, and Soul Calibur. I mean, they all refer to some sort of soul weapon.
man.
Do you want to talk about GTA 4 again on number 5 for the Xbox?
No,
Yeah, alright, moving on.
it's the same, but it's on Xbox.
Alright, I think this is the Nintendo fanboy in me in a way. But I'm like, oh yeah, Super Mario Galaxy, which is number 6, is on here. I'm like, oh, that makes sense because that game is supposed to be good. I played Mario Galaxy 1. I did not beat it. I did not get into it that much, weirdly enough. It is a game I should probably definitely revisit.
Yeah,
Have you
same.
do? Did you do have similar experience?
Yeah, pretty much. I remember I got my Wii. I can't remember if this came with the Wii or if I got it soon after I got my Wii, but uh, I played it a bit. It was really cool. I remember like all my memories of it are great. I just never ended up like finishing it.
Yeah, it's really I got to think about this. So I may have okay, we've edited out the loud noise maybe. If I'll
I
be
hope.
editing the podcast. Hi, welcome back. So we were talking about how we neither of us really have played this critically acclaimed and like user acclaimed game Super Mario Galaxy, which
Yeah, I
probably
mean,
will be a episode on the podcast.
yeah, I do still have my Wii and probably my copy of it, but I don't know if I can be asked to
Yeah,
set up my
I have
Wii
both.
again. Dust it off. I don't even know if it still works.
Oh, I mean it's made of Nintendo. It'll work.
It's made of Nintendo.
So actually, wait a minute. I have technology. I'm going to write down the timestamp in which the loud noise happened. Now I'll be able to look it up in the editing. Perfect.
Sick.
We have technology.
Epic technology moment.
Okay. I'm gonna read the wonderfully long,
Oh my god, that is long.
confusing description of the ultimate Nintendo hero is
Oh my
taking
god.
the ultimate step out into space. Join Mario as he ushers in a new era of gaming, defying gravity across all the planets in the galaxy. When some creature escapes into space with Princess Peach, Mario gives chase, exploring bizarre planets across the galaxy. Mario, comma, Peach, and enemies new and old are here. Players run, jump, and battle enemies as they explore all the planets in the galaxy. Since this game makes full use of all the features of the Wii Remote, players have to do all kinds of things to succeed, like pressing buttons. swinging the Wii remote and the nunchuck, and even pointing at and dragging things with the pointer. And also, since he's in space, Mario can perform mind-bending jumps unlike anything he's done before. He'll also have a wealth of new moves that are all based around tilting, pointing, and shaking the Wii remote. Shake, tilt, and point! Exclamation point. Mario takes advantage of all the unique aspects of the Wii remote and nunchuck controller, unleashing new moves as players shake the controller and even point at and drag items with the pointer. Nintendo.
There's no way that was written by that has to be that had to have been written by an AI.
Why is
That
it like repeating? It's just like, oh boy, Mario sure is using the Wii remote control to spin, tilt, and point at all his new enemies. Also, can we talk about how some creature? I mean, I guess maybe
yeah,
they didn't
like
know Bowser was the guy who did it, or they didn't want to spoil that intro
also
cutscene.
the implications of some creature escaped with Princess Peach. Like they never said she was kidnapped. Maybe she wants to be there.
Yeah, like they don't. They were vague, but also really specific.
Maybe Mario is just a toxic boyfriend.
Why were they so vague about the story, but so specific about pointing your Wii remote controller at your Nintendo Wii system and then twirling it 90 degrees to the left to collect items and use the pointer controls?
I just love the vocabulary and the grammar throughout. The fact that they used ultimate twice in the same sentence. They repeated enemies so many times in close proximity. It was amazing.
So the best part about these negative reviews are they're like from the year the game came out. And can we just talk about? I'm just gonna read this one review of this game is complete. This game is a complete waste of time. The graphics are okay, but they make no difference to an uninspired platformer such as Galaxy. Do yourself a flavor and go buy Mario 64. It's exactly the same as this.
Bro.
Um
Oh my god.
Dude is out here just being like, yeah, Mario 60. What didn't he just did doesn't even acknowledge Sunshine. This guy does not like Sunshine either.
Oh my
Really, Mario
god. This
64 is the
is
same as Mario Galaxy? The linear 3D platform. Why am I getting heated by random
wait,
person?
read the next review down. Oh my
Sigh. People who type out the word sigh, by the way, are the scum of the earth. I
god.
That is a pet peeve of mine because if you're writing the word sigh in italics, you are a scumbag. Like you are the worst. I don't want to talk to you because they're just an internet warrior like out here. Like who's out here typing sigh?
Oh
Have
my
you ever
god.
typed the word sigh out
I don't think so.
unironically?
I don't think so.
Because it always prefaces like a rant of just being like, sigh, Mario has really lost his edge. I would definitely say that Mario is better in 2D, jumping on enemies, no life bar, not as many dumb power ups that ruin the gameplay. 2D were his glory days, plus this game is targeted for children. Lame. As if
Oh
the
my
other Mario
god.
games were not targeted toward children. Also, 9 out of 45 people found this helpful.
Sigh. Mario has lost his soul edge.
This game is sucky and overrated. At least that review is like from the heart. He's not feigning tiredness.
Feigning tiredness.
The game Mario Galaxy was so bad it made me exhausted to type this. I don't know why I'm defending a game that I like barely played. I'm not really defending the game. I'm more just like depressed at the reviews
Yeah.
for any game. Oh, I like this one though. Do you want to be my guest and read out this read out this by
All right. Which one is
Grassy?
it?
This
Oh,
one.
grassy. I got it. I hate this stupid game. Why? The second player only gets to collect star, which is stupid. This is why I hate this stupid game. If I made a bottom 10 Mario games, it will be number 1.
I feel bad because this is someone's little brother who's stuck in player
Oh my
two, and
god.
he has a valid point. The player two
Yeah.
in Mario Galaxy can only shoot like point at the screen and shoot stars. They can't
I actually do
actually like
remember that.
play.
I was player 2
Yeah.
occasionally.
You know what? You can't blame him. If that's all he's playing, then you know what? Also, wait, that was from 2013. Wait,
I mean,
that was like way later. Why is there a review from 20? Wait a minute. There's a review from current year.
current
Let me read
year.
this. It was fun as a kid, but we aren't 10 years old anymore. We should move on. We should move on to mediocrity and have our own critical look at the game. And this one of the most mind-noodlingly boring game Nintendo ever developed. None of the ideas are actually fun to experience, and nothing about the level designs is engaging. I
Man,
mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna berate it too much because like again, I haven't really played that much of it. But still, just conceptually that someone was spending the time to write that out is definitely interesting. Do you want to read the much
the
simpler?
commentary on his loss of youth was
Oh yeah,
thrilling.
we're not children anymore. We
Oh
can't be playing
man.
these baby Mario games. Remember when Mario was made for men? They should release Mario for men. That would be
Yes, when
pretty cool.
Mario's made for men, when you were probably 8 years old.
When you were a fetus, when you were not born.
Man,
Um, Super Mario Galaxy 2, by the way, is right underneath that game as
sick.
Mario.
We definitely played
James,
this one, right?
I did not even touch that one, so I don't know anything. I've heard it's better than Mario Galaxy 1. Like I heard it improved on everything, so sure, throw it in there.
Yeah.
All right, do
We
you
can
want to
read the
read the
description.
beautiful description?
Super Mario Galaxy 2, the sequel to the galaxy hopping original game, includes the gravity defying, physics based exploration from the first game, but is loaded with entirely new galaxies and features to challenge players. On some stages, on some stages, Mario can pair up with his dinosaur buddy Yoshi and use his tongue to grab items and spit them back at enemies.
That's all you
Players
need to
can
know.
also have fun with new items, such as a drill that lets our hero funnel through solid rock. Nintendo.
That's it. This
Why
is
does
all you
this
need to
read?
know.
I actually think I know the problem. This reads like it was written by like a child, like a fourth grader who just learned how to do like a 5 paragraph essay. This is how
It
they write.
it's really weird because it's like I mean they peaked clearly with Mario Galaxy 1's description, but like Mario Galaxy 2, they don't describe anything that happens in the game. I mean, they talk about the newest feature of like, oh, Yoshi's in this game. And it's
Yeah,
like, let's talk about Yoshi and one of the power ups. It's like, you could tunnel through rock in this game.
man.
Not
Yeah, I
much to
don't
say
know.
about that.
It's something.
The next game is Red Dead Redemption 2, a game that I have not beaten, but I played on the PS4 and I bought on PC, but my computer is not cool enough to run this game the way I
Oh,
want it to, so I will wait until I have a stronger. It's like the GTA 4 situation where it's like I'll
yeah.
just wait until I have like a computer that's so strong that running Red Dead 2 is like a joke, but that's
hmm
going to be years from now
You know,
when
I
I
actually have
actually care.
a cool fun fact about this game. I did not play it, but during my freshman year of college, we did a field trip to I think it was called the Video Game Museum or something like that,
Mhm.
or it was like an arcade museum, something similar. Um, and there was like at the end of it, a Rockstar employee was there, and he did like a presentation for us. And we actually got to see the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer early.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, I never ended up playing the game. I did ask him
Oh,
why they didn't make single player DLC for GTA 5.
cuz they
It was
like
sad.
money.
It was sad. He basically just told me, well, more people played the multiplayer, so we just decided, yeah, let's go with that.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, yeah, that GTA Online just prints money. Also, just a
Hmm.
little slight spoiler: the next game on the list is GTA 5, like in every version that exists,
Epic,
and then apparently Pro Skater for the Dreamcast is also here. This is a weird list.
man.
Um, yeah, but Red Dead 2, played. I played most of it. I got most of the way through. I would say that game is really good. It looks really cool. It's a
Hmm.
cool concept. It's there's some weird uh tonal dissonance where in the game you'll be doing this really serious story moment where a character will get shot and it matters, and then 1 second later you'll be literally gunning down 100 men. in the streets with like a machine gun, and it's like, how does Arthur Morgan with a pistol, you kill hundreds of people, like, and you'll be escaping like a town, and there'll like be police chasing you, and then in a cutscene like a second later, you're like, oh man, I escaped the town, and then you look over and like your partner got shot once, and he's like, I'm dying from infection. It's like it's the tone, and that's all like in GTA 5. It's like that too, where it's like you're doing a cutscene where it's kind of like serious and like there's actually things that matter, and
Hmm.
then the gameplay is like, okay, we need it to be fun, so we need 100 people to shoot at. So like, I think in GTA early on, there's like a meth lab or something like that with Trevor's section,
Yeah, I remember that.
where it's just like there's like 100 people in this house. It's just weird. That has always been weird. Trying to have like fun gameplay, but like a serious story, and then having like to write around it is
Yeah,
weird. It's kind of
that's
like
part of what I think
Yakuza.
Cyberpunk did really well. Uh, like as far as open world games, is it's very hard to have a grounded open world game where you're not some sort of enhanced human being or some god amongst men, because inevitably you're going to end up killing a bunch of people in some crazy sequence that no human being should be able to survive even halfway through.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, in Cyberpunk, you literally have like blade arms and are made of
Yeah.
titanium and run around. And you are crazy, so it kind of makes sense.
Hmm.
And you are special protagonist person with your head chip and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah, it never felt it did never actually feel that weird that there was like, because you were always going to like outposts and stuff like that. It
Hmm.
wasn't just like like 500 enemies funneling out of a doorway.
I actually think my favorite example of open world MC syndrome was Far Cry 5, because you're just some regular, like, very young adult. Like I think the main character was 19 or something, and he's just so skilled at mass murder.
Oh yeah, well I mean 3 is like that too,
Yeah.
but at least you're like John
Or
Military.
did I
I
did I
think
not
you're like
say Far Cry
ex-military.
3? Did I say
Oh, you
did
said
I say Far?
4.
I said 4. Okay, yeah, I meant
Yeah,
3. I didn't play Far Cry 4.
yeah. 3 is but I think the background is you're supposed to be like you are a random like privileged kid, but I think you were in the military, so you like know how to kind of handle a gun. And then
Man,
you're pumped full of so many drugs that you're just running around doing crazy stuff anyway. So it's like,
yeah,
yeah, maybe
man.
it's a far cry from what we expected. Perhaps that's why they called it that.
Oh man, it's a Far Cry 3 from what I expected.
Yeah, we truly were a Far Cry 3.
This really was our Far Cry 3.
Yeah. Have you played any of the Yakuza games at all?
No, I've heard a lot about them though. I've seen a lot of memes.
Yeah, those games do a really good way of doing this combat thing, where the game's main story is like deadly serious, like crime drama, and then all the side quests and all the combat takes place in this like comedy dimension, where
Hmm.
so one of the things, like, Kiryu never kills anyone like Batman style. Is like, Kiryu, he never kills anyone. He's the main character.
Hmm.
And then even within the first game, you are shooting people with a machine gun on the back of a motorcycle, and there's a man on a motorcycle chasing you, and you shoot him, and he falls off the motorcycle onto the road, and then the motorcycle explodes, and you shot him with a gun, but he's fine. The explosion blew him to safety.
That reminds me
Um,
of, I remember in Spider-Man PS4, if you throw somebody off of a roof, a web will just appear and attach them to the wall, even if it
mhm.
isn't just you doing it, just happens. Then I remember in Batman Arkham Knight, if you hit somebody with the Batmobile, it just kind of happens, and you're supposed to assume they're not dead.
They were
Like
blown to safety.
the Batmobile has some high caliber guns on it too, and you can like blow up cars and stuff by running them over. Like sometimes the cars
Uh,
have
it's
people in them.
it's
It's just
beanbag explosives. It's rubber
beanbag
explosives.
explosives. I actually think rubber explosives was the excuse.
Oh yeah. I mean, I rather have for gameplay. I would rather be able to just do whatever than whatever. Honestly, who cares?
Yeah,
I will say Spider-Man. They try to make it so you can't kill anyone. You can still get away with it by like knocking people like into the ocean.
yeah.
Um, you can also. I watched a video clip that someone it auto webs them to a car. So It auto webs them to the underside of a car, and then another car slams underneath it and explodes. And it's really funny.
I
It's like you
punched this
can't
guy
win
in
them
the
all.
ocean. I punched this guy in the ocean, and he hasn't come back up.
Yeah, no,
I'm
you like stick
worried.
them underwater. It's like, yeah, okay. I mean, you can't win them all.
Yep.
I'm gonna
Unfortunate.
play that. I never beat that game, but it's on Steam now. I'm just waiting for it to go on a good sale, and then I'll
Yeah.
play through it.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
Um, GTA 5 is the next on the list.
It's on it 3 times.
Oh, they have different. There's two different descriptions too.
It's also on there a third time at number 12, and I think it might have a
Uh,
different description.
yeah. GTA 5. I think probably. I think it deserves a spot on the list here,
Yeah,
to be
definitely.
honest, because GTA 5 is a great game. Another game I haven't beaten, which is isn't that a recurring theme of getting like 95% of the way through a game and then not beating it?
Oh
And with
yeah,
GTA 5, I did that like 3 times. Like I got to the same pretty deep into the story and then fell off.
yeah. I remember. I think GTA 5 had 3 or 4 endings, and this was when games were just starting to experiment with having multiple endings. But it was an ending that just kind of came down to one decision. So what I did is before I finished the game, I just looked up which decision was the right one.
Damn, there
But
you go.
yeah, games are getting better with it nowadays. They make the endings like a culmination of all your decisions throughout the game. But that one final, like, yeah, do you kill this guy or not, and that determines your ending, is it's
Well, if
definitely
you
not
want
the play.
player choice, the next game on the list, which definitely deserves a spot, is Disco Elysium. Are you familiar with this game at all?
I've been recommended it many times, even by professors, and I just never ended up playing it actually. But I do want to play it. I might even have it on Steam.
Yeah, now is the time to play it with the director's cut or the final cut because they added voice acting to everything in that game,
Oh,
which is insanity when you play that game because it is like a text kind of like RPG where all your
hmm
choices actually matter quite a bit and everything is voice acted, and it's one of the best games, a game I have not finished because I can't finish games apparently. But
hmm
from what I have played, it is really, really, really good. I would highly recommend that, and that I would say definitely deserves a spot
hmm
up here. Just nestled between GTA and another
Wait, what?
version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Man,
Now, I will say games that were released in like current year and around here actually have descriptions like written by like a human, so they're not
ooh.
as funny. Although I'm looking at the
Oh
next game on the
no,
list, and
the
I
first
see the opening
sentence.
letters. Also,
Wait.
Pro Skater
Tony Hawk Pro
3.
Skater 2 Hawk's back with new
Huh.
technology, new
All right, well,
pros,
yeah.
and new tricks. THPS2, the legend rides on. Skate as legendary Tony Hawk or any of the other 12 pro skaters. Create your own custom skaters. Multiple play modes include one player, one
Wow,
player,
what a good mode.
career, and free skate modes, as well as two-player modes such as Trick Attack, Graffiti Tag, and Horse. Build your own skate parks with the real-time 3D park editor.
See, it's
That's
not
it.
even
No,
Hawk's back exclamation point. It's Hawk's back dash. It's like Hawk is back.
I love how some of them just don't have periods at the end, so it just kind of abruptly stops.
Who on the Metacritic team is such a big fan of Pro Skater that it's on here like 17 times, and then Pro Skater 3 is also on here. Also, all these games are like half of
Oh my
them are
god, yeah.
duplicated.
There needs to
I'm
be
like
some
scrolling down.
filter for
Yeah,
not having repeat games.
let's gun through this list a little bit faster, and we'll talk about things we actually we'll talk about the games we actually want to talk about because there's a lot of weirdness here. We're only
Sure.
on like 14 on the list too.
Yeah, see, we got. And how
So
far are we going?
I don't know, just until we hit the time, we're phoning it in.
Phoning it in.
Yeah. No, but I mean, this is like infinite content though. I could just sit here and look at and just be baffled by the choices that people made.
Man,
Um, but yeah, the next game is Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, a game that I played 90% of and didn't beat.
damn.
Welcome to this list. Every single game is like that.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
play it
it's
because
really
I don't
good.
have a Switch. But
Yeah, it's good. I would say play it if you got it. But You know what they say? They say, "Forget." Oh, this is way longer
Oh
than I
my
thought.
god.
Forget everything you know about the Zelda game, Legend of Zelda games. Step into a world of discovery, exploration, and adventure in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, a boundary breaking new game in the acclaimed series. Travel across fields, through forests, and to mountain peaks as you discover what has become of the ruined kingdom of Hyrule. And there's a lot more. They're literally talking
Jeez.
about all the shrines you're going to be doing, puzzles. They're talking about equipment.
I mean, like,
There's
forget everything I know about Zelda games. Who's Link?
oh wait a
Why
minute.
isn't Zelda the main character?
This is important. Battling enemies requires strategy. Also, amiibo compatibility. Tap the Wolf Link amiibo sold separately. To make Wolf Link appear in game, Wolf Link will attack enemies on his own and help you find items you're searching for.
They
That's all you
always
need to
end
know.
it. So they don't know how to end these descriptions at all. They're
It's
just
really
over.
weird. I don't know where they're taking these from, to be honest. I think they're just taking them from different sources.
Man, it's an
Um,
amalgamation of user scores.
yeah, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a really good game. It feels a lot different than other Zelda games, which is good and bad. I don't know. It's a good game. It was a reason I was really excited to buy a Switch like day one, basically to play it, even though it was on the Wii U, but still. I had a lot of fun playing it. It's a shame about that frame rate because it's on the Switch. It runs
Man,
like cabbage.
like a
Um,
cabbage.
yeah, it's just like whatever. That'll be a good game to
Whatevs.
revisit one day, maybe. I don't know. Breath of the
One
Wild
day.
2 looks good. I mean, it's hard to talk about it because it's a good game. It's just nothing like crazy
Yeah,
special
every
about it
time
to
I hear
me.
about it, people are just like, "Yeah, it's a good game."
Yeah,
Good.
I mean, it's a lot of the same. Like the thing about the game is it's a really good game, but it's kind of like the Metal Gear Solid 5 thing where it's like it's really good gameplay, but it's like kind of the story is like whatever. There's a lot of it sacrifices a lot of the elements of old Zelda games and like story beats and stuff like that just for like really good gameplay of open world gameplay. But
Yeah.
because of that, it's you're gonna be playing 100 hours of fun gameplay, but it's like not that memorable in terms of things that happen in the story. I don't know. Maybe I should
Hmm.
beat it and then I'll talk about it. That would be
Maybe.
probably ideal. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Now it's the third game. And moving on, Perfect Dark, a game
Boy.
I haven't played.
Yes.
That's
Red Dead
supposed to be
Redemption
very
2 and
good.
GTA 5 again.
Okay, we're just passing that. Perfect Dark is supposed to be very good. I think it's a rare
Yeah.
game.
I've
For
I
first
always hear
person
about that every
shooter.
once in a while. Aren't they doing a remake or something
I probably. I
soon?
mean,
Or
I
maybe
don't
they
want
did
to
it
be
recently.
playing a first person shooter on N64 to be honest.
Yeah. Let me look it up. I feel like there was either a remake recently or they're making one.
Mm.
It was Perfect Dark 2010. Jeez, is that really? Oh my god, is that really as far as it goes? There's no way. Oh, I
Hmm.
know. They announced in 2020 they're doing a Perfect Dark reboot. Okay, I see.
Yeah,
And
maybe I'll check it out
in
then.
classic Game Awards reboot slash revival of an old series fashion, we haven't heard anything about it since.
Yeah, and what's so weird is it feels like a remaster reboot nowadays is either like actually definitive, like really good, or is like unplayable, like the GTA reboot
Wait,
thing, the remasters.
I'm trying to look at the trailer. I might actually remember watching this live. Give me a sec. Is this what
I
I think
probably
it is?
also have seen it if it was
It
during like
probably
a
isn't what
Game
I think it is. There
Awards or
was
something.
some other game around the same time. They announced like a sequel, and the game was so old, people thought it wouldn't ever get a sequel.
Imperfect Light.
God, what was the game? I can't remember now. Oh, it's gonna keep me up at night.
Well, you'll have to do some off-air research because you're never gonna find that off of a whim. Um,
Man,
Next game on the list is well, besides Red Dead again and GTA again, is Metroid Prime, which is a game I have not played. I really should play it. I
yeah, I haven't
played
played it either.
3 Corruption on Wii, and there's like a Wii collection of 1, 2, and 3, and
Mm.
it's really weird because they did a Metroid like Prime collection, but it was one of those weird Nintendo limited release games where it's like, oh, we're gonna release it. I think this is the case, by the way. Correct me if I'm wrong. People send a message at hyep at gmail.com.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure there was a Wii. I mean, there was a Wii re-release of all three games with new controls, which is like I think the definitive way of playing it. And but it was like this weird limited release thing that it's like Nintendo doesn't want you to buy their games.
Yes.
Any yeah you just didn't play Metroid Prime.
No.
Then GTA 3, which is I didn't really play that. There's so many.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't
just
play
all
either.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, GTA is just dominating the ranks.
Yeah. Then there's
They're running shit.
Odyssey, which is again same. I could say the same about and then I love the description. It's just like they're all read the same. It's just like there's a new evolution to Mario. Mario has never been this cool. Basically,
Mario has never been this cool.
I hope they add a Chris Pratt DLC to add the
Oh
voice acting
God,
to Mario. Um,
please no.
yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about Mario Odyssey. It's one of those games where it's like a mainline Nintendo game that is just good, and the movement's really good. It's fun. I beat it, and I haven't thought about it. I haven't thought about it since, which is weird. I don't know.
Man, that is
I don't know
weird.
if what I don't know what that says about the game or about myself. That it's like, man, I
Yes,
really like this, and now I would just never think about it.
man. I'm caught up
But
in my research trying to find this game. But anyway, I do
a
see a game I
game,
recognize.
yes, here's a game you can actually talk about that I
Yes,
can't really talk about.
Halo Combat Evolved. Uh, God, I don't want to read the description, but I will anyway. Enter the mysterious world of Halo, an alien planet shaped like a ring, dude.
Oh, that's why it's called Halo.
No.
Nice. I'm glad to
As
get the lore.
mankind's super soldier master chief, you must uncover the secrets of Halo, TM, and fend off the attacking Covenant during. Wait, there's no period, but it's a new sentence. During your mission, you'll battle on foot, in vehicles, inside, and outside with alien and human weaponry. Your objectives include. God, can you just. They need to know when to stop. Your objectives include attacking enemy outposts, raiding underground labs for advanced technology, rescuing fallen comrades, and sniping enemy forces. Halo also lets you battle 3 other players via intense split screen combat, or fight cooperatively with a friend through the single player missions.
I
All
feel
right,
like I've
first thing
played
I'll
the game.
yeah, first thing I'll say, this sentence about all the things you can do. Technically, it's correct, but they phrase it like it's an open world game. They
I
also
guess, yeah.
they also phrase it like rescuing fallen comrades is yeah.
Actually, you know what's kind of funny? I think that its description is based on like they weren't really marketing it as like a multiplayer game because like that didn't really exist as like an
Mhm.
online multiplayer thing before like Xbox Live, which is like I guess this game kind of. I believe this game is one of the games that really utilized that, right? The Xbox
Halo
Live
2 was the
service.
one that started utilizing Xbox Live, but Halo 1 wasn't really about the multiplayer. It was very much about the single player and just it was a pretty simple game, but it was very like it was very endearing. I think it was a solid gameplay, especially for the time. Some decently memorable characters. There weren't a lot. It was really just Master Chief Cortana and Sergeant Johnson, kind of Captain Keyes, but he wasn't there for very long.
Yeah, but who was John Halo?
John Halo, my favorite main character.
Well, Cortana clearly stuck around long enough to become a piece of bloatware for Windows that you can't disable.
Cortana literally stuck around long enough to become a villain and then be forgotten in the next game.
Yeah, well,
$60 for Halo Infinite multiplayer, guys.
is that out yet?
It's
The
or
main
not multiplayer,
campaign or
single player.
whatever?
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. That game, like I heard,
Uh,
my experience with Infinite was look at the funny screenshot of the funny guy. He looks funny. Oh, the game's out for beta. Oh, I tried it for a second. That's cool. Oh, what happened? Oh, no, the game's out now. Oh, I forgot about it. That was the timeline.
man, yeah.
Uh, shows to NFL 2K1. In the
What?
end, NFL 2K1 is a deeper, more refined version of the original game. Copy paste that, replace NFL 2K1 with any sports game, and paste that. It is a
Yes.
new version of the old game, but the same, but different.
Breath of the Wild is here again, and so is
Yeah, but it's a
GTA
Wii U
5.
version. Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Wait a minute. So Breath of the Wild's description for the Switch is forget everything you know about Zelda games. Now the Wii U version is ignore everything you know about the Legend of Zelda games.
Damn. What are
So
you,
forget, ignore, bury
including
it
the
deep.
other version of this game?
Yeah, just forget that. Bury it down. Play the Wii U version, please.
Beyond Good and
Someone.
Evil. That was the game.
Oh, there it is.
Oh my god, is that sequel out yet?
I don't know.
Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's not
Also,
out
wait,
yet.
I just I skipped over the Half Life 2 as number 24. Man, Half Life 2 is really good.
Yeah,
What about Half Life? Actually, do you want to read the beautiful Half Life 2 synopsis? I can already
sure.
see it looks very strange.
Metacritic's 2004 PC Game of the Year. By taking the suspense, challenge, and visceral charge of the original and adding startling new realism and responsiveness, Half-Life 2 opens the door to a world where the player's presence affects everything around them, from physical environment to behaviors, even the emotions of both friends and enemies. The player
What does
again
that
picks up.
sentence mean? Wait,
I don't
sorry.
know.
What does that
I
mean?
don't know. I have no idea.
That sentence means nothing.
It's so hard to read because I don't think they know where they're going when they start the sentence. God. The player again picks up the crowbar of research scientist Gordon Freeman, who finds himself on an alien infested Earth being picked to the bone. Wait,
Wait, yeah,
why
wait a
would
minute.
why would they phrase it like that?
The Earth Bone.
Also, so so first of all, it's weird to say it like that about Earth, but also the grammar here makes it seem like Gordon Freeman's the one being picked to the bone. Like, damn, you just wake up and you're just bones.
Also, why is the player who is unrelated to Gordon Freeman, I guess, the player picks up Gordon Freeman's crowbar, but you are Gordon Freeman as the player. It's weird.
Oh man. Oh boy. Who finds himself on an alien infested Earth being picked to the bone, its resources depleted, its populace dwindling. Freeman is thrust into the unenviable
Unenviable.
role of
Yeah.
rescuing the world from the wrong he unleashed back at Black Mesa. And a lot of people he cares about, are counting on him. Vivendi
I mean,
Universal.
like four people. Like Dr. Kleiner, Barney, maybe, and Alex,
Oh my
like,
god.
and Eli, but yeah,
The
like
entire universe is counting on him.
4, 5 people he
Everybody
actually
knows who
cares
he
about.
is. They're all looking at him. There's so
Freeman.
much pressure.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm just gonna like look through this list quickly. There's BioShock. But let's go yay or nay. Let's just like save like why is this on here or like do we agree? BioShock. Yeah, good game.
Yeah. Uh,
Good game. I don't know. Cool. It has a wrench as a melee weapon. That's cool.
yeah. Very good visual storytelling in this game, by the way.
Yeah, BioShock
Really cool.
2, never played it but heard it's whack.
I did play Bioshock 2. It was weird.
Yeah, I
I don't
heard the
even know how to
DLC is
describe it.
good.
It's just weird. You're playing as a big daddy.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just a little unusual.
All right, GoldenEye. Now, I have a story about that. I played GoldenEye on N64 because everyone was like it's the best first-person shooter ever. Yeah, it's well, people were like really super rose-tinted glasses. Yeah, you have to grow up playing that game because it controls like absolute garbage, dog, awful, terrible, unfun game. But
But did
if
you
it's all
play it
you
with the
had,
Nintendo 64 controller?
yes, it made it worse. I mean, if you all that's all you had and nothing was else to compare it to, then yes, it was fine because it was kind of revolutionary. But playing it now is terrible. No one's gonna want to play that. Like unless you grew up with it, like it is not fun to play. Like it is like Mario 64. I could go back to with not that much nostalgia and be like, yeah, whatever. GoldenEye, it just does not feel fun to play because you have to
Yeah.
aim. You stop. You hold like the R button to like then go into aim mode, and then you're like aiming
Oh
like a
god.
light gun basically. It's just not.
Oh
It's not
no.
it. You know.
All right.
Um, Nolan North, the game, Uncharted
Nolan
2.
North. Man,
I played the first one, didn't get into it. I'm sure they're all good. The collection's on PC now. Maybe I'll check it out.
I never played Uncharted because I didn't have a PlayStation until PS4.
Yeah, well, PS
But I
get
hear
get it on
good.
PC now. There you go.
Yep.
Resident Evil 4 is supposed to be very good. I should probably play it.
I never
And then
played it.
there's also the remake. Yeah, I see that on here. I probably should play that. Orange Box, all those games are great.
The Orange Box twice.
Yeah, one's for PC, one for Xbox. I would say the PC version deserves to be higher than the Xbox version, even though it doesn't really matter because
Especially since you have to play TF2
yikes.
without any additional content.
Yeah, which in some ways is better.
But
But
no hats.
let's just like gun it to 50. We're gonna go real quick through these.
All right.
Batman Arkham City.
Very good
Isn't
game.
that the
One
one
of the
people?
greatest
Is
games
that
of
the
all
one
time.
people like?
Yes,
Do
that's a
people
very good one.
do people like Asylum better or City better?
City better. So City is like the perfect in the middle between Asylum and Arkham Knight, where it basically upgrades everything Asylum does. Storytelling's better and everything. And then Arkham Knight was a little too. They tried to do a little too much, and the story was kind of predictable.
Fair enough.
But also,
Tekken.
both games are very pretty. Arkham Knight and Arkham City
Oh
are
yeah,
really, really pretty games, especially for the time. Like Arkham Knight literally looks like it came out today. That game looks
yeah.
fantastic.
Those games look really good, and I tried to play Arkham Asylum the first game. I'm not a huge Batman fan, so I
Hmm.
couldn't get into it in that way. I could probably get into it more now, although I feel like I would.
Yeah.
I get more into the Spider-Man game and stuff.
To be honest, you could start with Arkham City.
Yeah. I own all those games too, weirdly enough. But
Hmm.
Tekken 3, it's Tekken. It's good.
Yeah,
I
Tekken.
don't play it often, but it's the big money fighting game. It's good. Elden Ring,
Elden Ring.
crazily, is up here.
Yeah,
Still
I'm
didn't beat that
surprised.
game. I like all the Souls games. I should beat it.
I still need to buy it.
Yeah,
Every
there you
time
go.
every time I think about buying Elden Ring, I don't have money, and every time I do have money, I'm not thinking about buying Elden Ring.
Fair enough. You should play it though. It's very good.
Yeah,
I haven't played any of the Mass Effects. I have the collection. I've been meaning to
I
play them
played
all.
I played Mass Effect 2, and I got like right to the ending, and my friend told me, "Yeah, you need to get this like weird nuke gun before you do the ending, otherwise you can't complete it." And I started searching for it, and I'm like, "Wow, I'm never gonna find this." So I just kind of stopped playing.
Oh god, there are so many games. Sekiro being one of them, or Sekiro, whatever. There's so many games where to get the true ending, you need to do something stupid, and it feels like homework and chores.
Yeah,
That make me fall off the game before I beat the game. It's just I like I here's a pet peeve, and this is a big Souls game thing, and this is a big Persona thing. Having to look up, all right, how do I know there's like before I even play the game, I know there's gonna be a true ending. Then you need to look up guide how to get true ending, no spoilers, and then you look at the guide, and it's like telling you it's like once you go to Grimrock and kill main character lore, and go to Grim City and then unlock the secret other world. That's where you to get this true ending. And it's like, is that really the no spoiler guide? You're just name dropping. Like no spoiler guides for these things. I mean, Souls is less, I guess, less bad, but it still sucks when you have to look up how do I get the true ending, and then it's like you need to go,
yeah,
and then it lists every area in the game, and it could be spoilers and stuff like that. Yeah, it's
yeah.
not. I don't know.
That's one thing I did like about Cyberpunk. Actually, you didn't have to go super far out of your way to get the best ending, I guess you could say. And it was really just do one side quest and do the right dialogue options.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? I feel like no one is like stumbling into these true endings. Really,
Yeah,
you have to kind of look it up, and it's like, am
it's
I gonna get a bad 1 second ending? And sometimes these endings can be like hours of extra content. It's like, am I gonna
I
beat the
might
game, get a bad ending, and
I
then
might be
play it
leaking
again?
some secret here, but these true endings are almost definitely leaked by devs, so that people actually get them eventually, and then they share it.
I would imagine because like, imagine. Remember, do you know Symphony of the Night, Castlevania Symphony of the Night?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know about the end? All right, so spoilers for the ending of that game. Uh, so in Castlevania Symphony of the Night, if you kill, if you don't use a specific set of souls or whatever, I get actually that's a different thing. If you don't use a specific set of things, like there's the thing that trigger the ending, there is an entire inverted castle segment, which is like half of the game. Well, it's not half. People I think over exaggerate, but there's an entire like post game big segment to get the true ending that you could just miss. And it's, I mean, I think they kind of hint at it, and a lot of Castlevania games do that too, where you kind of need to look up. There is like hints in the games, but it becomes one of those things where it's like a trend in the genre of the game. It's like, all right, well, I gotta go look up how to get the real ending.
Hmm.
Persona 5 being the biggest example to me recently because I'm playing it, and it's like
Yeah.
I don't want to. In Persona 5, you can, and maybe it isn't in 5, but in like a game like Persona 4, you can miss. There's a date cutoff, and if you
Yeah,
miss
yeah,
the cutoff and you didn't do the thing to unlock the true ending, you could be playing your 100-hour RPG, and then, oh, I missed it because I didn't know I had to do this thing before this date. I guess I'll replay 90 hours to see the 10 hours of content that I missed out on. It's
yeah.
like,
When I played
just let
Persona
me do it.
5, I never finished the game, but I remember I was
Yeah.
planning so meticulously
Tread
because
carefully on the
my
spoilers too, though,
my
because
time
I'm in
was
the
just
middle of it.
so, yeah, yeah, no spoilers. I'm probably not even as far as you are right now.
Hmm.
But I was planning so carefully throughout the game because I wanted to just like not miss anything. I was planning my day in Persona more than I planned my day in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, Persona 5 is the best in the series for like that though. They don't,
Hmm.
it doesn't matter as much. Like 3 was kind of a lot.
Yeah,
5, so I don't I don't really plan out my, I plan out my days pretty efficiently in the Persona games, but I don't go online. I'm not using a guide every day to like, I'm not using a guide every single day to optimize the perfect run or whatever. I kind of let things happen. I will say I look up all the answers to like the quizzes in the game because if you answer them correctly, you get intelligence, which is like a stat
yeah,
upgrade, and it's like,
yeah. I
give
did
me the
that as
stat
well.
upgrades. I don't know,
It's free.
weird stuff like that.
I can pretend to be smart.
But with S links, I won't look up the right answers. I'll kind of like do it because it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
I whatever. Skyrim's on here, Half Life's on here. We're over time.
yeah,
Maybe we'll come
yeah.
back to
We are
this.
well past an hour.
Yeah. So, if you want to send us any messages, I don't think we have any user messages this week, but send them to hyep podcast@gmail.com. That is the hyep podcast@gmail.com. We'll answer those questions live on the air, and live. We're not live. We're recording this, but live for me.
Mhm. Yeah, live
And
for us,
yeah,
not for you though.
I've been Matt. I want to be Matt James Dude, and you can be James Fawn Matt. I don't
James
know.
Hunt. Ooh, I like that.
I've been Matt. Hi. Bye. Well, wait, no,
Bye.
not bye. James has to sign off too. I've been
I've
Matt.
been
Hi.
James. No, I've been Matt and you've been James.
Oh, that's a good bit. Hey
Yeah.
hey guys, it's me James. I'm signing off. All right, we gotta cut it. Just cut it.
Cut.
Put the power off. Turn the power off. Cut it. Why won't it turn off? I'm kidding. I
Ah,
can actually turn it off at any time. This is. Will I though?
I'm
Now
panicking.
James is sitting there. Is like, is he gonna turn it off?
I'm being held hostage.
Nah.
Call
This podcast.
911.
This podcast will never ever end.